Hello and welcome to iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. This is Pendles, the Aussie Cockney Snake, and he's also a rogue attacker. Alright then, let's get down to business. We're not going to do that the whole time, don't worry. So, what are we talking about today? Few things. Number 1, Jason Statham, Michael Caine, and Jai Courtney. Number 2, Snake music and why I had such a hard time finding it. And most important of all, we're going to talk about Pendles, the Snake Man himself. So, Battleborn has Pendles classified as a stealth assassin, and that description is spot on. He's nothing more and nothing less than what they say he is. He excels at sneaking behind enemy lines and doing whatever he wants. Consequently, that usually means murdering low health targets and healers. His first and most important ability is his passive, Corner Sneak. Pendles cloaks himself when he moves out of enemy line of sight, or a far enough distance away. When he's cloaked, he gains increased movement speed, but his movement speed is drastically reduced when he's visible. Next up we have Smoke Bomb. Pendles throws a bomb at his feet that deals light damage on impact and light damage over 2 seconds. Additionally, Smoke Bomb cloaks Pendles when it's activated. Next up we have Injection. Pendles lashes out with his primary weapons, his dual commas, and strikes at all targets in front of him, dealing high damage and slowing the targets for 2 seconds. Last but certainly not least, Pendles' ultimate ability is Miasma. Pendles covers himself in an airborne poison that deals moderate damage over 10 seconds. Additionally, Injection's cooldown is reduced to 3 seconds when Miasma is active. Before we move on completely, Pendles has one more special ability. He has a natural 25% CC duration reduction, which makes him slightly harder to catch. Alright, now before we get into the match, we've got to take a look at the team, see what we're going up against. My team is going to be Miko, Toby, Galileic, Galt, and myself as Pendles. Enemy team is going to be Atticus, Caldarius, Arendi, Miko, and Oscar Mike. So this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup, pretty balanced teams as far as the composition goes, so let's see if we can make something good come of this. Alright, and here we go. The match is beginning. We got Pendles, the Snake Man himself. Look at that style. Look at them sneakers. What are those, the new Yeezys? How much did those cost? Like $8,000? Either way, I don't have enough money for that kind of shit. And who does want to spend $8,000 on some sneakers? Maybe Pendles does, but that's not the point. The point is Cobra Strike. That is the first Helix augmentation we're going to select. Pendles will dash forward a short distance upon activation of Injection. So this is going to give the Injection ability a little bit more mobility. It's going to make it sort of a very, very short range dash. Now, it does function in the same way that Melka's Claw Lunge functions, so you can actually use this to traverse the map a little bit three-dimensionally, but it's very different from Melka's ability. Pendles is definitely not the three-dimensionally mobile character that Melka is, but in the way that he is mobile, he is the fastest walking character in the game. He can move. Look at that speed. You hear them sneakers squeaking and shit. He is the fastest walking character in the game when he is invisible. When he's visible, he's a lot slower, and I'm pretty sure he's the slowest character in the game when he is actually out of stealth. But when he is in stealth, when he's cloaked, he moves so damn fast. So damn fast, and that mobility is something that you have to capitalize on, right? So it's your job as a character that can be super quick and super invisible, super hard to detect. The enemy team's Arendi actually selected the Helix augmentation that reveals me whenever she activates her Shadow Fire Pillar, so that's going to be very difficult to actually sneak up on her effectively. So I'm going to go to the other side of the map and see if I can find anything. But it looks like my team is definitely doing a good job holding their own, but it looks like I do have my sights set on Miko, and Miko actually saw my shimmering, but it's a little bit too little too late. Miko is definitely a very, very easy target for Pendles. That big mushroom tip just getting, you're just touching it too much. It's sensitive, and just Miko's going down. So we're already starting to see the fundamentals of Pendles' gameplay. Because he moves so quickly when he's invisible, it is your job, it is your prerogative to go wherever the action needs you. And it looks like Oscar Mike did see my Predator shimmering once again. What are they, throwing sand or something so they can see me? I don't know. But either way, I am going to try and engage there, but I'm going to activate that smoke bomb and then sneak away because I was taking a little bit of damage. But Pendles' main prerogative is to move wherever the action is and to just pop in and do a little bit of damage on people and potentially assassinate somebody when they're either out of position or low on health. So the next ability we're going to take is Flash Bomb. Smoke Bomb blinds enemies for a short duration. It's 1 second. So this is going to make your re-entrance into stealth when you activate Smoke Bomb a little bit more effective. And it looks like I've got my sights set on Atticus. He is being healed by Miko, but we are going to get a little bit of focus fire on him. Miko's heals are not unstoppable, and here we go, activating that smoke bomb, blinding up Caldarius. He don't know where I'm at, so I'm gone. And here we go. Once again, we are seeing the strategy of what to do with Pendles. You get in there, you kill somebody, and then you get the hell out. Engaging without smoke bomb is always a little bit dangerous because you don't have a good way to actually get away from the enemy, but in this situation I had Galt on my side, so I knew that he would be able to sort of help me clean things up if need be, and he definitely did so because I was taking a pretty big pounding. It wasn't very good, and it looks like I have my sights set on Caldarius as well. Biggest tip I can give you when you're playing against Pendles: if you're low on health, just leave, because if you don't, this man gonna follow you. He gonna walk past your turrets, and then it's over. Now he did try and actually, I think Caldarius was trying to pick up that shard before I killed him because he knew what was gonna happen. But either way, let's take a look at the gear. We're going for movement speed, attack speed, and critical hit damage. Movement speed is going to increase your effectiveness when you're actually in combat. It's gonna allow you to stick on targets a little bit easier because once again, Pendles' movement speed is ridiculously bad when he is actually visible. And wait a minute now. That was rude. That was rude. Oscar Mike was not ready for that situation, but I was. So either way, we're going to pick up our next Helix ability, Mamba's Bite. This is going to add a 15% lifesteal effect to your commas. So your melee strikes are going to restore 15% of the damage dealt as HP to you. This is going to make Pendles a little bit more survivable. He's a very weak character as far as defenses go. He doesn't have a lot of ways to mitigate damage other than just not getting hit. So adding that lifesteal effect is going to help you stay in the fight a little bit longer. Now, fun fact about lifesteal is that you can't actually lifesteal on target shields. You can only do it on target's health. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're fighting with certain enemies. And you know, we're doing really well in this match, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this was a stomp. But whenever I play Pendles, it either goes really well or really poorly. And the reason it's going really well for me and my team right now, my team and I don't know, who cares, is because the enemy team is not playing against me. And what does that mean? A lot of times when there's a stealth character on the enemy team, it's a good idea to adjust the way you play to counter that stealth character, because stealth characters have the ability to completely ruin any sort of plans that you had. And it looks like my plan is not going too well. I was trying to take out that thumper turret. It looks like I succeeded, but the enemy team pretty much caught me, and it looks like they're not actually going to finish off the kill. Orenji going to put down that Shadowfire pillar, but it's not going to finish me off, and Miko is doing a tremendous job of healing me back up. So it looks like I'm going to jump right back into the fight, throwing those rinky-dink ninja stars once again. Galilea is in the thick of it, but she's definitely going to go down, or maybe she's not. It looks like Miko is doing an amazing job at keeping us alive, and I am just trying to harass people as much as I can. Using that injection, once again, that dash is helping me to get into range of Miko a little bit better. And am I going to be able to pick up the kill? I'm trying to hit that mushroom tip as much as possible, but Miko has now escaped my wrath, or should I say she's gone out of range, because I am so slow when I'm actually in the fight. And here we go. Miko actually came back in and got hit by that injection. I wasn't even aiming at her. I was just trying to hit somebody in front of me so I could get that slow effect on him, and holy crap, that was a lot. Okay, so we're still alive, we're still doing well. Let's take a break and pick another Helix augmentation. Savage Cut. Enemies affected by injection suffer additional poison damage over 3 seconds. So the injection is a very powerful burst damage ability. That's pretty much your main burst damage. This is just going to make that burst damage a little bit more powerful. So in addition to the main damage you get when you actually hit the target, you're going to do a little bit more with that dot damage over time. So it's just making you even that much more lethal. It's very powerful. The alternatives are to add lifesteal effects to your injection, and then there's some sort of I don't know all of his modifications, but I find that the lifesteal on injection, it's nice. It makes you more of a brawler. It makes you a little bit more sustainable. But I am a fan of getting in there, doing as much damage as possible, and then getting the hell out of dodge. And that dot damage is going to allow you to do that. Now, one of the coolest things about Pendles is the fact that you are invisible. But no, that just because you're invisible doesn't mean that you shouldn't be sneaky, right? And a lot of people, I feel, will make the mistake, and my goodness, that was not very good. But a lot of people, I feel, will make the mistake of assuming that because they have this invisibility, because they have their predator stealth going, that they can just do whatever they want, and that's not true. You should still be cognizant of your positioning and think, where can I stand so that I am as invisible as possible. And it looks like I'm just wailing on Atticus, but he is a huge target. Very difficult to whittle him down, but he is attacking Miko, so I want to get him off of Miko's back as quickly as possible, as opposed to switching targets to somebody squishier. And in the end, it worked out pretty good. And we are going to select our next piece of gear. We're going to go for that attack speed. The trick with playing an assassin, you always kind of have to ask yourself, do I want to go for skill damage, or do I want to go for attack speed, attack damage? I like going for attack speed with Pendles because I find that I can never get his damage to ramp up enough with skill damage. But that's just a preference, really. That's just a thing for me. But anyway, as you can see, these are pretty much the fundamentals of Pendles. You just want to kind of roam around the map and just kind of cause a certain amount of chaos wherever you can, and catch characters whenever they're sort of out of position, whenever they've extended too far. You punish them for that. Just move around the map, be wherever you need to be, and try not to get punched in the face by Atticus. That's always a good idea. And that's pretty much the gist of it. He's a very difficult character to play when the enemy team is specifically trying to counter you, trying to actively play against you. And once again, that is a big deal when there's a stealth character on the team that you're fighting against. It's a very good idea to play to stop that character, because that character has the ability to just fucking mess with your head, man. It gets in your head, and it's uncomfortable, and it's annoying, and they can steal your shards, and it sucks. All right. And just before we do finish off, because I know I just have a feeling that somebody's gonna bring this up. This match was quote unquote unbalanced, right? My team was a lot more skilled than the enemy team, right? And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm the best Pendles in the world. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm so good at Pendles, that I'm the master of Pendles. I've only been playing him for like 2 days. Like, okay, it's been like 4. But still, either way, I'm not sitting here saying I'm the master of Pendles. But I know the fundamentals, and I'm just trying to bring that to you. And these guys, I commend them for not surrendering, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Cloak and cover is the next helix augmentation we're going to take. While you are invisible, you take 30% reduced damage. So this is going to allow you to, if you get discovered while you are in your predator stealth, while you're just shimmering around and somebody starts shooting at you, you're going to take reduced damage. So that's always nice. And the reason I find that ability to be valuable is because whenever you do enter stealth while you're actually in combat getting attacked, it's usually to try and escape. And a lot of times that's because you messed up somewhere in there, right? So let's say I'm fighting with Atticus and he just starts punching me in the face. I'm like, okay, I don't want this. I activate stealth, but he can still kind of see me, and he starts punching me some more, and he keeps wailing on me. So now while I'm invisible and he's wailing on me, I'm going to take 30% reduced damage. So that's sort of the philosophy behind that. And here we go. Looks like I'm going for the engage on Caldarius. I am going to activate the ultimate ability Miasma, and that is going to reduce the cooldown on injection, so I can pretty much indefinitely slow Caldarius as long as I can land those injections. And as you can see, the burst damage potential with that ultimate ability is insane. Why don't we take another look at that, matter of fact? Let's rewind and do some slow motion. Alright, so I've got my sights set on Caldarius. His shields are down. There's nobody else around that can help get him out of this situation. I'm going to activate injection, then immediately after I'm going to activate Miasma. That's going to do that dot damage, and it's also going to reduce the cooldown on injection. Boom, I'm going to activate it a second time. He's trying to hop away, but because I had him slowed, he's not going to be able to get anywhere fast. Am I right, or am I right? That was a nice joke. I think we need to just stay in this slow motion a little bit longer and realize how amazing that line was. He's not going to get anywhere fast because he's slowed. Holy balls, I am super creative. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm being ridiculous. I'm joking. Okay, calm down. But seriously, there's no suspense here, right? We're going to win this match. You already know that. I'm pretty sure I've said that already. So let's just talk about some of the things that you can do to actually play against Pendles and other stealth characters in general. Wait a second, though. Wait a minute. Violation. Complete violation. So, like I was saying earlier, something you can do when you're playing against the stealth character is actually play against that stealth character. Before we continue on that, Sweet Spot is the next Helix augmentation, increases injections damage from behind by 25%. So how do you play against the stealth character? Number one, stick together with your team. This is not the end-all, be-all way to stop a stealth character because you could, it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get picked off by someone, especially if you're not using a microphone, if you're not on voice comms or Discord or whatever with somebody. It's very difficult to really communicate. Oh my God, he's attacking me. You can't get on your keyboard, start typing, oh my God, Pendles is here. You're dead by the time that's over. So stick together. That's number one. Number two, if you're on low health, I already said this, but just return to base because low health targets are very easy for Pendles to whittle down. He can pretty much kill somebody if they're at a low enough health within the duration of the slowing effect from injection. It's very, very devastating. And last but certainly not least, be a little bit more conservative with how you play because anytime the further away from your spawn and your turrets that you get, the more juicy of a target you become for Pendles. So if you start aggressively moving towards your opponent's side of the map, you're slowly becoming more and more fodder for Pendles. So you're gonna want to be a little bit more conservative. I'm not saying you don't want to push. I'm not saying deep pockets adds 2 additional throwing stars to your secondary attack. So now you throw 3 rinky-dink shurikens instead of 1. It's very Pendles' secondary attack is very bad, but I'm not saying you don't want to push. I'm not saying you don't want to be aggressive. But when there is an enemy Pendles on the team, you got to pick your aggression a little bit more intelligently. You got to say to yourself, all right, if I push now, Pendles is at full HP. Everyone on the enemy team is at full HP. So if I make even the smallest mistake, they're going to capitalize on that, and they're probably going to wipe us, and then everything's going to spiral out of control. So it's all about being a little bit more conscious of the moves you make and the decisions you make when you're playing against a stealth assassin. Is that the easiest thing in the world to do? No, but that's the whole point of playing an assassin, is to force the enemy team to do things that they don't necessarily want to do. Force them to be extra conscious of their positioning, force them to be wary of the moves that they're making more so than they would be before. And there we go, we got the rage quit. Finally, somebody said, you know what, I ain't dealing with this bullshit no more. He probably could have left 13 minutes ago if he ain't want to deal with your boy playing Pendles. I'm kidding, I'm not that good with him. I'm decent at best, okay? But my point is, Battleborn, it's a fun game, people. It's a fun game. Is it perfect? No, of course not. Nothing's perfect. Not even Overwatch is perfect. Yeah, I said it, and I stand by it. In fact, Overwatch is not that good. Yeah, I said it. I'll admit it. Overwatch is not that fucking good. In fact, I'll go so far as to say Overwatch is shitty. No, and that's him now. Now I'm being retarded. I'm being ridiculous. But my point is, Battleborn is a fun game. If you think it looks fun, do a little bit more research. Pick it up for yourself. I'm not gonna buy you a copy, but maybe somebody else will. Call up your friends. You got a birthday coming up, be like, hey, there's this game on sale right now. You should pick it up for me, man. Maybe we could both get it. We could play some multiplayer together. And then we'll get violated, and then we'll want to quit, and we'll want to feel like we wasted our money. Then we'll go to Reddit, and then we'll complain. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. You know, if anything, it's worth spending the money just to complain about it, you know? Because shit, isn't that half the battle, complaining about stuff? Half the fun is in complaint. Anyway, the name of the game is Battleborn. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.